I don't even know how to start this intro. You man are killing me, bro. Listen, I am in a good space, Av. That's what we won't extend the conversation we just had, but I'm in a great space.
I want to send this. Can I ask you a question though? Both of you. What you both worried for, bro?
Right, let me greet the people.
No, just let me answer and ask the chat as well, bro. Don't make it weird.
All right.
In honor of Pride Day, who's your favorite gay singer? There's loads of them. Some of the best singers of all time. You saying, Cal? I'm thinking Freddie Mercury or George Michael. That's what I'm thinking. One of those two. I like a bit of Queen.
Yeah, both legendary.
You like a bit of Queen?
Listen, I didn't say I like a Queen. Like, the band's called Queen, bro.
No, I said you like.
No. I said what I said, bro. I think George Michael's got a better voice than
George Michael.
I think George Michael's cold. I think he's got a better voice than Freddie Mercury, but Queen's got bangers, bro. I would have said Sam Smith until he started calling himself Fisher them, and then I was over with. But
he called himself? Okay, yeah, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, you can't call him a Fisherman. He's a Fisher them.
Go on, Cav. You want to answer that, and then I'll greet the people in the.
What are you thinking, Cav? Come on, man, Boy George and that, bro.
Probably
the knowledge is quite cold.
Elton John.
Lion King,
Elton John.
That's
Elton John's been in a few movies as well, man.
Yeah,
that Rocket Man film about his life as well was sick. That was a great
sick
film.
movie. Yeah.
I've watched it. Is it any good for real?
Yeah.
Don't lie though, because if I turn it and watch it,
I like it. I just don't like the artsy bits in the movies.
Oh, okay.
Just, the montage kind of scenes. I don't like them in any movie though. Like this, but it's a good movie.
Right. Big up to the people, man. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, I should say, depending on where you're watching. We're here to talk about Luis Diaz and a few other Liverpool topic. JARELL QUANSAH has now left the building, no longer a Liverpool player, and will be wearing a number 4. But Liverpool have quickly come out and said there's a no-go for their players. But before we get going, lads, how's the man them today, man? Because we have to do the mental health check-in. Let's make sure we're good and we're in a great space before we start talking about football. It's not the most important thing in the world. So, and chat as well. Let us know, man. Let us know. So, Sav, Cav, how's the man them today, man? Everyone all blessed?
So distracting, bro. I'm not gonna lie, man.
This is what happens when we get on camera, bro.
Yeah.
Cav, how are you?
No, I'm good. Yeah, just a pretty chill day today, to be honest with you. You know what I'm like, all over the place. Life's always a bit hectic. So when I get these odd days where I can actually take time and relax and chill out and get back to doing some of the stuff I enjoy, they mean a lot to me. So yeah, I'm pretty calm today, at peace. Yeah, and I'm just doing all right, man.
Nah, I feel it.
Yeah, all good, man. All good, man. To be fair, I ain't gonna lie, but I'm just one of them, man. I'm always good, bro. Like, fuck it, bro. It's one of those. But I just want, as long as everyone else around me is cool, then you know what I mean. So checked in with everyone's good, so I'm good, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones. Relax.
I'm not gonna lie though. I think I've got I think I've got hooked on Hogwarts again, which is going to be a bit of a
I love it, man.
Something I need to sort out, because I'm not going to lie, every moment I'm getting spare time, I'm just on that game again, and I'm playing it again, and I don't know if someone wiped my memory, but everything seems new to me as well. So I'm just like, just really.
You still remember all the spells on that?
I remember the spells.
Yeah,
I remember the spells, but there's just like certain missions and stuff that I just completely forgot.
I love it.
But the way the game's set up, you can sort of you can. It's not open world, but you can go off and do different missions at different times and things like that. So I'm playing it slightly different there, but yeah, I'm hooked on it, man, and it's giving me life at the minute. I'm not gonna lie.
Is that why you turned down playing pro clubs yesterday?
Yeah, it was. because I was playing Hogwarts, and then I thought, well, I got to download the game, make a pro. Then I got to join your team, and I know how long that is, and then I know how long you take to get into an actual game. And I just
we were ready to go.
My Hogwarts time. I'm playing this game, and I'm happy. if I'm happy, I'm staying in this moment. So yeah,
Hogwarts is dope, man. Hogwarts is dope. A little bit of peace in that.
All right, man. Let's talk about Luis Diaz then, guys. Reports come out that Leverkusen, Bayern Munich were interested in offering for him as well, but Liverpool quickly and swiftly turned it down. So not only have we told Barcelona is not for sale, but we've now told Bayern Munich he's not for sale. Do you think that's the stance, or we're just hoping for a higher price point to try and sell him or get rid of him? But I honestly don't know, because we turned down two big teams for him. And if we really, really wanted to sell him and didn't think he was good enough for this football club, I'm pretty sure we would have just have accepted, not whatever, but something reasonable. But we're like, no, he's not for sale. That's the word coming out of Liverpool right now. What's you man's thoughts on this?
Good. That's my guy, man. Keep him here. I think we probably underestimate what Slot actually wants to do with the team, innit? Everyone's trying to offload players and all this stuff and that, but like,
yeah, true.
Slot was pretty happy with Diaz last season, and he used him whenever he had the chance to use him, wherever he could. So he was one of his guys, really. Of all the people in the team that was, you know what I mean? He didn't rotate too much, but of the people who were, even when he rotated Diaz out of his position, he still played him up front. He weren't trying to like put him on the bench for anything. So he might rate him because obviously the manager gets paid the big bucks, see stuff that we don't or that we do, but he has different plans for it. So I'm very happy with it, man. I like the fact that we're signing new players and stuff like that. But I don't need it to. It's exciting, but I don't need it to get to this point where we're just offloading everyone and bringing new players in, because then it's a new team and we're trying something completely different. Whereas they've got some continuity left from last season. They've got another year playing on the same team as each other. And I know Diaz has been there a minute now, but that whole midfield for Diaz last season, or the season before, was new. So now it's not. So it was still like bedding in periods, kind of. So, and we did great. We won the league. We, even as fans, I think we know where we went wrong in certain tournaments. Yeah, I mean, certain things are like marginal. Like we could have walked away with like 3 trophies last season. So I don't want to change it. And that's not even me being biased with the fact that is my favourite Liverpool player, like honestly, because if I thought we could do better and the money is right for the club, then take him. But I don't think so. I don't think there's anything out there really that could replace him at the moment. So
What are you thinking? Go on,
that last bit that Sav, I mean, I agree with everything Sav said, but that last bit's key for me, really. It's like, I'm just looking around at other left wingers, and really, I can't see much improvement. Now, that's not to say Diaz is the best left winger we've ever seen, or even anywhere close. But in the current sort of period of time in football, he is one of the best left wingers out there, really. And for the amount of money that is on at Liverpool, and the fact that he's always available, always puts in a shift, you know, defensively as well, works hard for the team, is often the guy that can kind of get us out of a slow tempo and sort of make something happen. He's always involved in the attacks in some respect. He's there, he's involved, he's part of this team. And I was only watching back some of the Liverpool put out some content on YouTube about key points in the season, and then other bits on the road to winning the title. And Diaz is just there all the time, you know, and it just goes to show how important he's been for us winning that league title last season. So I don't think you can just give that up, you know, for a fee that's being rumored around 70 odd million. It sounds like a lot of money, but what does that really get you now? I don't think it gets you an improvement on Diaz. So I think they're always going to come out and say he's not for sale, or stay silent to try and get the best fee possible. That's you know, makes business sense. But actually, as a footballer and what he offers Liverpool, I think it also just makes sense to keep him, to be honest with you. Now, depending on which way you're inclined, if you're thinking more about business and the fact that his age and where he's in his contract, and the fact that he probably had, you know, he's probably at his peak, or last season was probably the best you're going to see of a Diaz, it means you can get probably the best money for him this summer. But again, that money has value, doesn't it? And unfortunately, 70 million in today's market for a left winger isn't much value, really. So you might as well just keep hold of him, in my opinion. And I just like having footballers that are just committed to the cause. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to. Some of the names that are being rumored all come with a bit like, yeah, they've got to do this though, they've got to do this, how they're going to settle in, this and that. You don't have any of that with Diaz. You know, you just know what you get with him now, and what you get helped us towards a league title. So I'm good with that.
Yeah.
What do you think then, obviously, with this one saying we've been talking about his wages and he's been incorrect. So Anfield Insider said, look, no, he's earning around 140 grand a week at Liverpool. So I guess it's not a contract situation then, because I think we kind of fought 40 side going, nah, you need to pay him a bit more, because I think he's underpaid based on the value of the work he's been doing and the goals and assists he's been offering the team. So if he's earning about this, I think, yes, I think you still give him a little booster and top him up. We don't need to go into like 200s or anything like that, but maybe an extra 20 grand, maybe an extra 30 grand. Because you're right, you look out there now in Europe, apart from the ones that are already established and the ones that are like at their teams, the Rafinhas, the Kvaratskhelia, you know, and obviously Dembele and all of these guys that can play either side. There's hardly anyone out there creating or scoring the amount of goals he's done across the competitions he's played in. So, and I get it. The money side of it always sounds nice, because you always think, oh, there's a fresher, younger version out there that we can go and get. But I'm with Sab. You don't want to change the team too much. You don't want to add too much to it already. You just want to fix the areas where you look at and go, rah, that was a weakness last season. I don't look at our left side and going, that is a weakness last season. I think the forward was a weakness. I think a defensive midfielder you could have got, or a deep line playmaker, just to rotate or add to what we currently have. I think adding an extra centre back just based on the injuries and him not probably trusting QUANSAH as much. And then obviously on the right hand side, someone that could come in for Salah when needed. And then obviously we had 2 left backs, we had 2 right backs. Trent was fine, Bradley was fine. But then I think everyone kind of had an issue with Robbo and Simica, so you probably think, oh, we could upgrade on this year. But I don't look at the left side going, yo, there's a massive, massive amount of work needed to be done to that.
So, yeah.
And you like to think as well that with Kirkes coming in and Florian Wirtz as well, that actually he could improve again. I know I just said we've probably seen the best of him last season, but there's nothing to say that he can't go up another level with those players around him. And one thing that Diaz has shown us at his time at Liverpool is that he can adapt, he can change his game, he can still remain important even though the things around him are changing or not quite to his style. So when we think about, you know, when our fullbacks play, not quite making the overlapping runs that he maybe wants to sort of create some space for him to beat a man and things like that. Well, he's not become ineffective because of that. He's just found another way to play. Has it got the best out of him? Probably not. He probably could have done better with better, you know, more, not better players around him, but players that just suit his style a little bit more and aid him in his game. But he still remained impactful. So that goes to show us that actually with Kirkes coming in and the energy he's going to bring and that offensive sort of play, plus the playing style that we know Wirtz is going to bring, and how we believe that he can pick out these forwards with through balls and things like that close, intricate play around the 18-yard box. Add that to the fact that we believe Luis Diaz is adaptable. He could improve for it. And if he does, you definitely haven't got many better wingers out there than that Diaz. So I'd like to think that he could improve again next season.
What do you think the pros and cons could be then? And big up to the chat, by the way, guys. I will have a look at what you guys are saying in a second. But what are the pros and cons for him, you know, staying or leaving? Because I see more pros than I see cons, to be fair.
For himself and for us?
No, for us, because obviously I think if we're saying, okay, we're just speculating at the moment. We're saying now we were incorrect about the salary. So I'm like, one, quite high, to be fair, which is good. I'll top it up, but not massively amount. Other than that, what else is there for you to go and want to, I'm not even achieve? I don't want to say that because there's so many more trophies you can go out there and win, but you're in the right environment right now. So why would you want to leave?
The only reason I can think of him wanting to leave is just because he wants to leave the country or do whatever he can while he's at a certain age, which happens to a lot of players, isn't it? But yeah, you're right. Liverpool's the right environment for him when it comes to England. I think we probably got, I mean, I can't say for certain, but it seemed like we probably got the best environment in the Premier League when it comes to the top clubs and stuff like that. So I can only think it's a personal preference of him wanting to move. And obviously, the rumours have always been like Barca and stuff like that. That's his team. I know that Ronaldinho's his guy and stuff like that. So if it's only that kind of thing, I don't mind at it. Like whatever, that's normal. But the last time he spoke, he said he didn't want to go anywhere. So I don't know if it's just that people are so hooked on previous words of his dad and stuff like that a couple of seasons ago that they've always just dropped this on Diaz now, and it always becomes a bit dismissive of him, like, let him go, then get him out of the team if he wants to. I'm like, bro, he's not even said anything. Whether it happens in the future or not, it's two different things, but he's never actually said that. So there's definitely pros of him staying at the club. I think I agree with what Cav said. I think he can get better in the way he plays, and with the people around him doing different things around him will help him, because that's why when he gets more freedom for Colombia, it's not about the level, it's the space he can pick up on the pitch. I think he's always been a bit indecisive. That's my one thing with him is decision making. But also, decision making becomes a lot harder when you don't have a number 9 to pass the ball to, or there's no one in that space. So he's always holding up the ball and holding on for it too long, trying to shoot and stuff. I think he can have another good season, man. I don't understand what the problem is with people in Diaz, to be honest, bro. I feel the same way about Gakpo as well, man. I'm feeling like man don't really rate them like that. But as I said, the levels, I'm starting to realise myself, man. I feel like the levels they've dropped from the past, and I have to kind of like acclimatise to what football's out there. That way I can stop being so harsh on some players, because I'm always rating them against the best football I've seen, and that it just doesn't exist anymore. So
yeah,
it's very hard to do. Because I don't really do it when it comes to GA and stuff. A lot of people, when they're talking about Diaz and Gakpo, it's always they're inconsistent purple patch. But that purple patch they're talking about is usually the goals and assists. It's not the performance. But that's because obviously you have to compare it to something. Well, I can't compare it to Salah because he's an anomaly. Clearly, he's been doing it for nearly 8 years at the same level. He's not dropped off. Okay, so who do you compare him to next? Well, we're in the Premier League, so let's compare him to the rest of the wingers in the Prem. And apart from maybe like Saka, who's the wonder kid, they've got the best numbers. So what am I complaining about? And we won the league with them. So I can complain when I'm watching them and I see like, oh, come on, man, you could do better though. That performance went okay. But when it comes to number, I'm like, nah, I think just drop the levels a little bit and I do that with everyone now. So I think they're fine, man. I don't understand, but well, I guess
I think part of it, Sav, is it's all of that you said, but it's also the kind of the way that we view him. I think people when he came in, even though we're seeing the goals at Porto and things like that, because of his frame, he's quite slight. He is a bit skillful. You know, when he first came in, he was doing a lot more tricks and flair than he does now. And I think we kind of expected like a Neymar 2.0, I suppose, or something of similar ilk. And we've not got that. We've got actually a really all-rounded left winger that's very hard-working, and you know, whilst I would like to see more of the flair and the skills and beating a man from him, the fact that he doesn't do that as much, that hasn't really massively affected us as a team. So I think it's just this expectation of and wanting a player like that. They're not quite getting it. But what we've got to do as fans in the same conversation is like you say, not compare to players of old. Even if we compare to some of the best players, you know, in his position in the world, where you're looking at like Vinny Jr. and you're looking at Rafinha and Dembele and Graver and stuff. Is he at their level? Probably not, but he's not far off. I think he offers more to our side than probably what those teams do in the sort of defensive side of the game.
Definitely does.
Availability and change positions and all them kind of things. So I think it's a nice conversation piece to compare him to other players and stuff. But what we can't do is lose sight of what he gives us in our team, and he is very. He has been an important part for us in winning that league title, and you can't take that away. With all the changes that are going on this summer and the money we're spending and the players we're bringing in, I'm in agreement with you, Sav. You don't change the piece of the cog that just works for you, you know, that you can rely on and that you know is going to give you a certain level throughout next season. You keep that piece for now and you see how you get on with it, and you change the parts around it. And that's just how I see Diaz. The con, as you put it, ends is just the business side of things. It'd just be the fact that Liverpool probably feel the best money they could possibly get for him would be this summer. But again, if you're going to sell him based on that decision, what's it leave for your squad? And I don't think we're better off as a team without him, to be honest.
Yeah, you can go out there and get younger, fresher, more vibrant wingers that's going to come in and look good. But at the end of the day, I think us as fans, we're going to always moan about the same thing. Oh, goal contribution. So even if we go out there and get someone maybe faster, maybe with a bit more skills and tricks. But are they going to add the amount of goals that we need? He's scoring 18 to 19 goals right across the competitions. We're like, that's not good enough as a winger. And I know the comparison's there to Salah. But what other wingers are out there scoring that, apart from the one you'd probably say at Real Madrid? And
that's true, because when Cav mentioned them names and that, the only people on them people's levels are them. All the people that Cav mentioned is like, yeah, he's not on their level, but it's only them who are on their level now. The problem might be, which I can actually understand, because of his age, they're likely to give the other person doing the same thing as him more time in it, because it's like, oh, it's understandable. There's a potential there. We think he can move on to being this, whereas he's already at the age of where people are normally playing their best football. So maybe they're just like, which is fine. I just don't like that this is his best football. I thought we can get more out of this with Liverpool. But then you are going to have to take a chance on somebody, like you said, who's younger and you're kind of unsure of. They might be more exciting. They might even get you exactly the same as him going forward. Do they give you the other stuff? It's up in the air, really. But I do understand that point of view. And from a business point of view from Liverpool, because Cav's right there, of course they're going to say, if they're turning somebody down, that doesn't mean that Liverpool don't want to sell him. It just means they're not selling him for that price or to buy him. They're probably thinking, well, how old is he? He's 28. And
yeah, 28.
That age is the big contract age, isn't it? And we've just won the league. So if he is after a bigger contract, it does make sense that he is. And it doesn't matter what we think about him. And he just won the league with Liverpool, bro. So all of them are probably after like an extra bonus or more money in like that. And it's like, okay, I'm at the age now where like, if you're not going to pay me more money and I've already won all this stuff with the club, whatever my dream club is or wherever I want to go on to, it's the right time to do it. And if they're going to pay me more money and give me what I want, then I'll happily move on, which is fine as well. I'm not upset with players doing that anymore, to be honest, bro. As long as there's a bit of transparency there with the club. Don't have to be transparency with the fans. We're not owed anything. Like, it's business at the end of the day. I know it's horrible because we would like to know everything, but they don't have to be transparent with us, bro. They got their own families and stuff to think about. So as long as the club's cool with it, it is what it is.
Big up to G.
Just quickly before.
Go on.
Yeah, sorry, G. Just quickly.
I'll get
just to add. You know, when we thinking about improving the squad, we're looking at like players and things like this. But I kind of view players on a little bit of a scale in this respect, that like the very, very best come with the most problems, right? Because they've got egos, right, and expectations. And then the ones that can't hold that conversation usually is because they don't offer enough to have it, right? And the players of Diaz's sort of stature on that scale is slightly in between on the higher side, where he offers a lot, but he don't offer enough to demand a lot and become a problem in the squad and become a problem for the club and the manager and them kind of things. And I like that sweet spot. I think that's what Liverpool do so well. It's why we have really good players in our squad with very little problems and egos. And yes, we account for Salah's ego and we pay him the higher amount. But again, because he's in that top echelon of the bracket, you know, Virgil we're lucky with, in a sense that he's so good, but he does everything really professionally and behind the scenes. But everybody else in our squad, for the most part, are really good players that seem like good people that mix together well and don't create problems. And a lot of fans probably think, well, that doesn't account for much, but you only got to look at United over the past few years and see what egos has brought to them, really, because the quality was there in the players. It was just trying to knit them together with all managing the egos and everything else. So I quite like holding on to players like Diaz in that sense, because yes, you need to pay him a little bit more, and I agree with you, probably not over £200,000 a week. I don't think he's of that value, but you know, pay him close to that, keep him, and you know you've just got somebody reliable that ain't going to cause a problem, that fits in well, is adaptable, and that is just invaluable, I think, to not only what we can go on and achieve and develop in the squad, but also just ties into our whole sort of ethos as a club, which is working well for us at the minute.
No, fair. Big up to G. Welcome, bro.
Big up,
man.
Scraps did make a great. He made a good point in terms of his goals, his gaps with his goals, right? So I'm going to paint you a scenario, G, and then you tell me if you see any difference, right? It is correct. He does score his goals in bulk, and then he goes moments where he's got big periods where he doesn't score. But his performances are in and out. They're not awful. They're in and out. They're good, but not great in those moments as well. Then he has patches again where he scores. But then he ends up with, like, say, 19 goals. Would you prefer a player that scores, gets the same amount of goals, by the way, but they're more consistent with the goals, or what Diaz is doing? What would you prefer? they still get the same goals, but one gets it in a consistent basis, so he's scoring every other game or whatever. But Diaz, the way Diaz is doing it is bulk, massive gap, bulk. What would be your preference?
You take consistency every day of the week. You know what I mean? You don't want a player who only does it in bulk. Nobody wants that. Do you know what I mean? Why would you want a player who can go 2 games, score all of these goals, but then you can have a guy who's consistently scoring, even though it's the same amount of goals, it's just done because there could be key goals. Who knows? I don't know when those goals come in, and obviously that's just context, right? But yeah, I'd rather have that. I'd rather have that, and I think that's the thing with Diaz, man. For me personally, I'm like, I think I'm just bored. I'll be honest, I'm just bored of Diaz. I've seen what he can do now. He hasn't really got a. I feel like wingers like him, Cav is right. Like he's in like a sweet spot, and I wouldn't be like actively try and sell him because I feel like him and Gakpo. It's like for me, I'm like, yeah, one of you should leave if I'm being honest, because I feel like maybe Gakpo might be different because he's younger, but like you've reached this level where I'm like, listen, you're scoring the goals, and we can compare them to these other wingers and stuff like that, but I'm sure Diaz has got more goals this season than Kvaratskhelia. I'd still have Kvaratskhelia every day of the week because he provides just that X factor that I'm looking for in that kind of a winger. I don't really feel like Diaz offers that. Diaz is steady though, like super. He can be consistent and all that stuff. And sometimes you do just need that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like you know what I mean? It's not bad at all. It's just for me personally, I'm like, yeah, I feel like I've seen what Diaz can do. It's good. It's definitely not bad. And if I had to choose between him and Gakpo, I'd rather have Diaz over Gakpo, 100%. But I would just kind of want to see something different now. Like, can we get a player who can maybe bring a bit more of that X factor? Like, whoever that is, a younger player, like, I don't know, Malik Fofana or Barcola, whoever it is that everyone, wants to sign. Can they provide maybe that X factor? I don't mind if one of Diaz or Gakpo stays. I'm good with that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a problem with them staying, but I just feel like we've kind of maxed out what they're kind of doing. Maybe the output could get better, obviously. I'm not saying it can't, but in terms of what I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, nah, these guys they've hit that level where I'm like, you're gonna have a Rafinha type season in order for people to change their minds, kind of thing, where we say, oh, right. And even Rafinha, we don't even know. That was just one season. He could go back to just scoring his 10 goals a season like normal. Do you know what I mean? We'd have to still wait and see. So Diaz is at that point now. Does he have that season? He needs to have it, unfortunately. If not, I'd rather see you go. What are you offering me? Yeah, the 19 goals is fine, but I'm sure Gakpo can also offer me that too. Do you know what I mean? If Gakpo played the same amount of games, I'm sure he could do that too.
Gee, no, you're right. And I think it comes down to preferences, right? I think everyone has their preferences in terms of the style of play they want. But what we've seen across the YouTube space, people in the comment sections, I'm not going to say everyone because there's some people asking for, they're on the eye, they need that player that looks great as well, the X Factor type player. But the main conversation, you would say, if I generalize it, has been about the GA and goals and assists. That's what most I've seen from the space I'm within. People are asking for is, oh, they need to contribute more. But they're doing more than most wingers in the world. So why would you want to replace that to go and get someone else? You're contradicting yourself, not yourself, but from what I've seen people have the conversation around, you want to get rid of the goals and then bring in someone because they look a bit more appeasing on the eye, maybe a little bit more silky with the dribble. I don't know. But then gets less goals. Then you're going against the original conversation, which is the reason why you don't like Diaz is because he's not scoring and he's inconsistent. But even with that, he's still getting more goals than the other wingers in the world right now.
Do you know what it is? It's the Salah thing and like the Haaland thing that he's kind of got. Now, obviously, they get way more chances, right? But we watch these guys miss a ridiculous amount of chances, opportunities, and stuff like that. Like they could probably both be on like 60 plus, even though Haaland is always relatively close to that. But you know what I mean? Like that we watch them week in, week out, and we're like, bruv, like you should have way more goals than you actually do. But they score so many goals anyway. So no one's really gonna moan at that. Diaz doesn't score so many goals. 19 isn't a lot of goals. That's good. Yeah, like in comparison to what we have in Mo Salah, it's good. Yeah. But when you're looking at it, you're like, as Scrap said earlier on, bro, I don't know what the number was. I can't remember. You went at a very, very, very long time.
Might have been 10 games or something.
That's too long. I'm sorry, that's way too long for someone to go without really contributing in that aspect. Yes, now we're gonna have to go delve into what was he doing defensively and all. I'm like, yeah, I hear all of that. That's great, but the inconsistency in your output, I guess, for the people who care about that, that's going to be a problem, regardless of anything, regardless how many goals he gets. If you're going that long without scoring, remember there was a period of the season, the Scraps again is right, there was the period of the season where we were looking at the rest of them. Even though they had the goals they got, we were looking at Gakpo, looking at Diaz, looking at Nunes, looking at Jota, looking at Kiev. We were looking at all of them because it was just Salah. Like, it was just Salah scoring and assisting. Remember, he was 70% of our goal contributions. That is, you know, that's quite, considering in that time period you've also not scored in like 10 games. People are going to look at that, and I think that's why people, you know, they get antsy with someone like a Diaz and someone like Gakpo. Like, I feel like that's where the goal contribution comes in. It's not the fact that you scored 19, because that's calm, that's super calm, but we know that within that you probably scored majority of those within a batch, and then you didn't score for time, and then you scored another of those goals within a batch, and then that was it, kind of thing. So yeah, I feel like that's why people are always going to get onto Diaz, but he's calm though. He's a good player.
I feel I know we've said it before though, but like, Liverpool's issue isn't scoring goals. Like, I think we scored over 86, 87 league goals last season, which was the most. And that was, yes, mainly from Salah, we get that. But then the rest was sort of spread between Gakpo and the midfielders contributed, which they hadn't done in years gone by. And, the defenders chipped in with some key goals as well. So scoring goals isn't a problem. And actually, I would prefer that the goals are spread out across more players, because that means if one's unavailable for whatever reason, you've still got confidence in the side to go and get a goal in the game. I mean, and that's what happened between Diaz and Gakpo last season. They both contributed. So if we manage to sort out the forward position, and hopefully Florian Wirtz comes in and scores more than Szoboszlai did in that position, we'll only improve goal scoring wise again. So when we take it down to talking about one player like Diaz, it's just it's a non-argument for me, because it's just not a problem that we need to discuss. Now, if you're saying it in respects of like, what happens when Salah moves on in 2 years' time, then I get it, because yes, you're going to lose a chunk of your creativity, a chunk of your goals and your assists. But clearly Liverpool are addressing part of that problem with signing Florian Wirtz this season, because they're already preparing for the future and what players are going to take us forward. And one thing that Liverpool have always done over the years is, apart from probably a season or two with Ricky Lambert and Benteke and stuff, where there's some horrific stats, we've always had good goal scorers. We saw
that from the draft, bro.
Exactly, yeah. So Liverpool will, it'll be a massive loss when Salah does move on. And we've spoken before about how the team could actually maybe be more balanced and more fluid when he does move on. Will we score less? Yes, maybe. But there's no doubt about it. Liverpool will find a solution. Hopefully it is Florian Wirtz. And we will score goals. So I'm not too concerned about goal scoring, to be honest with you. And like I say, when it comes to Diaz, yes, he misses some chances, but he also scores some crucial goals. And I don't want to lose sight of, we all watch the games, right? I watch every game.
Yeah.
Sometimes things aren't quite going in your favor. Sometimes the tactics aren't getting across well, or they're just not being played out well, and the tempo's, slow, and the team's doing well to defend against us. They're cutting us out. They're getting men behind the ball. And I always look to Diaz as that player that's going to make something happen, that's going to change this the way that this game's going. And that for me is not as valuable as goals, but it's the next best thing, really. Goals and assists are nice, but you also need players that just have that ability and that style of play that sort of makes something happen. And I say it again, if you look back at all the goals we scored last season, Diaz was there or thereabouts. The assist, the goal, the pre-assist, the guy that got the ball or won the ball high up, or won the ball from deep, and just made the tempo speed up and things like that. I think that's important in a side, and no statistics going to show you that. So I just think that's where he deserves that sort of credit back in that respect.
I agree, because that's why, like what I said earlier, and then when G said he's just a bit bored, that is crazy, because that is the comment that makes way more sense to me. Like, if you just like, because I'm like that with Liverpool's football sometimes, and everyone's going to be like, yeah, but we're winning, we're top of the table and all that, and you're right. But just as a viewer, I just don't like it sometimes. So if you just don't like him because I'm maybe a bit bored of him and I know what he's going to do every time, bores me a little bit. Some people are like that about Haaland and that, even though he's getting all the goals. That's the case. Oh yeah. Then not that I agree in terms of because I like him, but I'm not going to argue with you at all. There's no argument to that. That's just subjective, and that's what you like. When it comes to the goals and all that stuff, like people can throw stats to me all the like, but we're all Liverpool fans. We all watch all the games, and if he's not performing for them the whole time he's not scoring, that's a bigger problem. But then Slot's got a problem because why is he playing him still when you've got a person that you can swap him with? So clearly he's happy with what's going on. I've never really been like that. You striker, yeah, because that's always been the striker's job, innit? Like you're not involved in helping at the back and all that stuff. So your job is to score goals. Then we're gonna have to check you on you scoring your goals and that. But when it comes to the like I said to you, like just man, I think once I had to realize I had to lower my standards a little bit, not because it's Liverpool, it's just in football in general. Then I'm like, oh yeah, kind of a bit harsh on this guy, and then it makes me feel like, oh, some people are even better than I thought. So, for example, I rate Salah, but when I bring the levels down and think of what everyone's doing, I'm like, nah, Salah's way better than I thought, to be honest. Because the way football is now, it's all over the place. And every time we mention other wingers, we just mention the same names over and over again. All the guys who are cemented in their other club, and you're never going to get them. So it's just going back to the wall and hoping that something's going to change. There is going to be somebody who's better than Diaz and younger who can get more of them. But it's still a guessing game. He gives us what we need at the club at the moment. As Cav said, goals have never been our problem. Since Klopp took over till now, in fact, from Brendan Rodgers up until now, we're never out of the top 3 of scoring goals, bro. We're never out of the top 3. We're always there, bro. So either Man City's got more goals than us, or Chelsea on a one-off or something like that. Yeah, we've always got more goals, man. So I'm not mad at it at all, bro. And we should be going down the route now of maybe it might not be this season, but getting a striker in. And that changes everything. Because then you go back to the striker having that's their job to score the goals and that. Maybe Salah don't get as many goals, but he gets more assists. Who knows? Everyone's playing their part in the team, man. You don't win the league with people like not doing stuff. It just doesn't happen, bro.
Yeah, everyone chips in, don't they, to get goals and stuff. All right, shifting it from the club saying he's not for sale. So let's see if they stand by that stance. But yeah, for the guys,
can I ask?
Of course,
come the start of next season, do you think Diaz is going to be at Liverpool?
I want him to be. Will he be though? I don't know because I don't know. This manager is moving crazy right now. So
yeah, see, I really don't know. I really don't know.
I would like him to be here, but that's just my preference. That's just me thinking. I can see from, from a stylistic point of view, if there's other wingers out there, Malik Fofana, young, energetic, ready to go and cook. But then I'm like, is he going to come in? I don't know if he's going to come in and hit the ground running, score the type of goals we want. I want to go and keep the title, retain the title, and build from there. I don't know if he comes in and makes us a better team. I think we're going to have to then give him time, and giving him time when we're trying to retain titles and win Champions League, I don't know. So unless you're going to go out there and go and get me the top level, the Rodrigos, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele's, I think that's when I'll be like, oh, we've taken another step now, and there's no waiting for you need to come in and deliver. But if we're waiting for the youngsters to come in and then I'm like, okay, we're doing the project thing again. So I'd rather keep him unless you can upgrade on him. That's my stance.
And the thing is as well, and this argument's gonna work both ways, but bringing in any player that's a project has not got to just settle in at Liverpool and the pressures of Liverpool and the pressures that have risen for next season, be it that we're now league champions and we expect to retain titles and go for Champions Leagues next. That's big pressure, that football pressure, not just Liverpool pressure, but also not buy into that project. And you've got to buy into Project Salah that's going on. If you're a left winger and you're trying to come into Liverpool and play your game, and you've got Salah out on the right that barely moves, but the ball always goes to him, and he'll expect you to be running in on the back stick and making those runs across the defender and everything like that. Your game might not be centered around that. Your game might be centered around, I get the ball to feet and I beat a man and I get into the box, rather than being the man that has to arrive late into the box and do all the hard work and all the tracking back, because that's the only way that we can function as a team with this imbalance. That's something that a young player coming in will need time to learn, and we ain't got time because we want to win next season. So we can't take away from, when we think about how the team plays, the balance in the forward line, that sort of elephant in the room that is Salah out on the right. Now we accept it because the goals and assists and what it leads us to, and he is probably, I don't think he's our best player. I think Virgil is, but other people say he's our best player. But he's also demands that everybody else caters to him. And I think even on the other side of the pitch for a left winger, like I say, instantly, as soon as Salah's got that ball out wide, we talk about this scenario all the time. So Szoboszlai is running up the pitch. Does he go left? Does he go right? 9 times out of 10, he's going right. Well, if you're a left winger, you might want that ball. You might want that ball early. You might want to be the guy that beats the man and cuts in and shoots. But you're not going to. It's gone out to Salah. So what you've got to do now is stay on side, full back, and then make sure you beat your man when Salah goes to put the cross in. You might not want to receive the ball in the box like that. So all of these things are things that Diaz has worked with and adapted to and has tailored his game to. And I think that to bring a player in and instantly get them to take all of that stuff on board next season, you are literally talking about some of the best players in the world. And some of them might not even be happy to do that. So I just think for next season, you stick with it. You see how Florian Wirtz settles in. And then you've only got one more year of Salah. And then maybe you can change it after that. You just got to see how the seasons go.
That's one of the things I actually liked about that season. I like the facets of the different things that our forwards were bringing last season. Salah's improved even more on his passing. His first touch is way better than it was before. Gakpo definitely stepped up a little bit because he was scoring like match winners and stuff, or when there's a breaking the deadlock with headers and stuff that he wasn't. He spoke about it himself. Took ownership of it. Said, "Yeah, I just wasn't in the right frame of mind to do what I was doing before. Had the word with Klopp the season before. Had the word with Slot, and he changed, bro. And then he was the name on the score sheet a lot of the times. And yes, he goes missing. He does. The beauty of that is you had the other guy to rotate with, man. Like I can't really complain about that. I would just keep both of them anyway. I do even though Gakpo goes missing, I feel like people don't really rate Gakpo because all of this transfer window has been like, yeah, get rid of Gakpo, and then I'm like, I thought everyone was happier that he just had his best season, but it's like now that you've had your best season, you can go now. But I did like that, and I would keep both of them. We got Rio in the wings, that's my guy, and I would loan him out if you're not going to give him game time because it's almost perfect. You get to see what he's like in big man football for another team, while we've got two wingers who already know what they're doing and are even more settled into the team. And then then when you bring Rio back, then you go and sell one of the other ones if they want to move on or they want to do whatever. And you got then that stuff what we just said about a young player. You're not trying to gamble on it because he's already has. He's already has, and we can see what's going on, and you can make a positive decision.
Great point.
And if not, whatever club is out on loan might want to take him. That happens a lot of the time, and then you sort that out. So yeah, I'm not mad at him, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's talk about from one guy not for sale to another guy that was sold. Mr. Joel Quansah, bro. He's now left the building officially now by Leverkusen player.
Yeah,
I hate this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm
so disappointed.
Bro. I didn't want him to go, but it is what it is. The gaffer didn't trust him clearly.
You know why Quansah's a bad man, bro? Because he's got trainers on in the picture, bro. No football. Skeezer said, "Big man, I got OnlyFans video to shoot, man. Run it quickly, bro. Let me take it from the living room like a PNG file, bro." Nah, I can't lie, bro. Like, I know everyone doesn't think about players the same. It's fine. It's so you don't understand, bro. It's so disappointing for me, man. All my stocks in this guy from the youth setup, man, and I just thought he's so good, bro. And the thing is, the last time I got to see him play was in the England game.
Yeah,
so good, bro. It was so. And before anyone starts throwing at me, he's just under 21s. What do you expect me to do? That's all I could watch him in. I don't know why people always throw that at me. Like that's all he was doing, playing under 21s, bro. But it was so. Nah, man. Nah, I can't lie. And I know ends don't bother telling me about no buyback clause again, bro. I'm not trying to hear it, bro.
You might not want to watch my other video I dropped earlier.
Nah, because I know they're not going to catch no buyback clause, bro. No one ever does, bro. It's yeah, man. Obviously, go do your job and that, bro. But now you just belong to another club, innit? So it's gonna be one of them ones, and I'm watching him against Dortmund. I needed to make mistakes and that. But love, man.
Look, he didn't leave Liverpool in the doom and gloom. He left with a Premier League title. He left with a Euro 21s, under 21s title. So his stocks went up. We saw him dribble at the back line, spraying passes. You know what I mean? He made it look easy at times. And I get it. He's playing around with the guys around his age. Cool, no problem. But there was moments, not last season, the season before, where people were like, yo, he's actually a top defender. But then he didn't get the opportunity in the following season because the gaffer left, a new gaffer stepped in, gave him the opportunity, but then only gave him 45 minutes. And then from that point, It's not his fault. It's, you know, Konate decided to just take it and run with it. And now you just have to wait and bide your time. And when you got given your time, you had moments when you did really well. And then you had moments where you're like, eh. And then the gaffer could only go, right, I prefer Konate and Virgil at that moment in time, which isn't a problem. It just means he wasn't willing to sit around and wait because he believes in himself. He believes, you know, if he sits and waits for the next couple of years, he's probably going to take steps backwards instead of steps forward. So, look, I believe in the next 3 years he's going to reach some great heights, man. But I guess we have to wait and see, man, what he does out there in the Bundesliga. But listen, the brother's got number 4. Kevin and G. He's got the number 4 in his back now. I wonder why he chose that number. I don't know.
His idol. I rate him highly. I just think he's a little bit of experience and a little bit of confidence away from being a top defender, to be honest. I think he's shown that he is a modern day centre back. He's shown that he can play with the ball at his feet. I think when he was on loan, correct me if I'm wrong, he was at Bristol. Bristol was he? And I remember watching some highlights there when he first broke into the Liverpool side to see what sort of player he was. He was spraying some long range passes and connecting with them as well, confident, bringing the ball out the back, play football what I perceive is the right way for a centre back nowadays. And he was strong, he was aggressive, not afraid to dive into a challenge, a lot of them clean, you know, and you just looked like he had all the, you know, ability for a real modern day centre back. And I just think, and it happens at times, being at a big club with more experienced, you know, best in the world defenders ahead of you, you're stepping into often a cup side, which is players that are also out of form themselves or not got the game time themselves. You're trying to slot in, you're trying to fit in, you're trying to stand out without standing out too much. You know, you're a young player, you're trying to make the right waves into the side and all that and that. And sometimes the outcome is just that the big club just isn't in that moment right for you. You need to go away, play football, and then step back up, you know. And Leverkusen isn't much of a step down. They're a great side. So so I think that he's going to be a great player. I think he'll be England's main centre back within a couple of years, I think. And I do hope, I know, Sav, you don't hold much faith in the buyback, but actually I do hope that there is something there. I think that in some, I'd like to think the conversations were in some way, look, you're at a point where you need to play. So we're going to, you know, got an opportunity to go to Germany and play for a great side in the Champions League, gain all that experience, and would love to have you back. And then when the opportunity arises, we get that first refusal for an already agreed fee that clearly Liverpool will be willing to pay. So I don't see it as like a kicking him out the door kind of thing. I just see it as like a different type of loan, if you like. And maybe that's just being optimistic, but I like him. I think he's a great player. My only concern now is it leaves us quite light, so we've got to go out and find somebody at centre back.
What are you thinking, G?
Yeah. I think it's
do you rate him first and foremost?
Yeah, I think it's decent. Cool. Yeah, I do think it's decent. But obviously, this Cav said it, innit? Like it's Liverpool, innit? And we can't keep this. Oh, he is to stay. To stay to do what? Like I'm so tired of hearing people say, "Yeah, keep him to do what? What, to sit on the bench and come on at right back every random moment he was get." That's crappy development, man. We need man to, you know what I mean, play games, man, and for his own career. Like forget what he does for Liverpool, just his own career. Go and have a career, man. Like too many of the hoarding. We laugh at Chelsea for hoarding players. We want to keep all the players. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense. Like, do we want to keep them, or we're not developing the player by him just being here? He's not going to learn anything sitting on the bench every single game, like watching Van Dijk and Konate. It's like you will learn a bit. You'll learn a little bit in training, but it'll probably end up like Adrian. You'll just stay, you just end up at that stalemate where it's like, I'm not going to get any better. I'm just going to be here. I'm just chilling. He needs to go out and play games, and he's at the right age to do so, man. So if the buyback, I'm with Savage. I don't feel like the buyback means anything, but let's just say he turns out to be really, really good in 2 years' time, and Van Dijk leaves, and then boom, we can just go straight back in for him. Then perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to be honest, if they said they were going to loan him out, I would have said yes straight away. But I've never got confidence in the buyback. But the only reason because I remember like Cole came off the buyback. I don't know. But I know that Cole came off only playing 15 games ish for Brighton, in and out. You know, when he was on loan and that. We were linked to him at the same time as Quansah coming through. Quansah had the last like couple of games the season prior, and the levels between them wasn't much anyway. And then the age was exactly the same, but obviously Cole was just going to have a full season at Chelsea at centre back, and now he looks better. So I would expect him to go and play because that's what football does. Cole made mistakes loads last season, but if you're allowed to make mistakes and keep playing, it's how they get better. And obviously, normally it's not a fact, but defenders seem to get better with age in it because they've come back from experience. So you want them to have that. So I guess that's going to happen with a lot of centre backs and stuff like that, unless you're outstanding early. But man, it's just a shame for me because I don't believe in it. I'm hoping that everyone's right though, and once Liverpool actually do that. But because I don't believe in it, in my head I'm like, yeah, we've lost the top defender there, and I feel like it won't take him long. I know he's going to Leverkusen. Ten Hag's the manager now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll be great. Man. I know everyone thinks Ten Hag shit because of what he did at Man U, but he's not a shit manager. But he's not. So I think he'll probably work out there. So see what happens, man. I'll be able to pay attention anyway, watching the Bundesliga games anyway. But we'll see. But yeah, it's not a Liverpool player anymore. So pieces.
I'm not sure if you guys agree. I don't really see a weakness in his game. I just think he just needs that experience and just needs that confidence.
Yeah. It's always concentration levels, and I feel like he. I said to Enz as soon as he came into the team, like he seemed to have a bit of everything of our defenders that we already had. You know what I mean? Calmness of Virgil, the way the dribbles that he was doing was very Matip-like and stuff. We might need to find his own identity though, innit? Because the calmness of Virgil, Virgil hasn't always played like that. So, and Virgil came to Liverpool older than Quansah is now. What, 27, 26?
He's 27, yeah.
So he was already 7 years older than Quansah is when Quansah came into the team. That's when Virgil was able to like know his game and stuff like that. Quansah doing that early, I get it because that's the person you're training with every day. If you go watch Quansah's mistakes, they come from him being very relaxed, almost like I'm so assured of my skill, which is it's a great confidence to have. But you're not Virgil in it. So then the ball slipped under my feet. Bruno scored from the halfway line. I got caught out because I was being a bit hasty when I probably should have concentrated a bit more. But Cav's right, it comes with experience, and people don't talk about Quansah. He's actually good going the other way, and he's good in the box. You know what I mean? Like, yes, he didn't score that many goals in that, but like to be honest, but like Virgil and Konate were rubbish in the box last season a lot of the time. So yeah, man, it's not a bad thing, man. Being confident in your own skills is not a bad thing. You should be. You're a professional footballer who played for Liverpool, so you're obviously good enough. But concentration levels have to be, and that's experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice man though, he hasn't. I thought I'd talk about this, brother, because there was a few of our
Baller,
fans,
man. Baller.
Few of our fans was telling us we need to sign Jonathan David, but he's gone to Juve. Let me know if you in the chat, guys, wanted him at Liverpool Football Club. Free agent as well, by the way.
This deal went through while the game was on last night, while I was watching the game, when you heard me in the back office.
Yeah. That's crazy.
No.
Talk to me, because
he's a good player.
He's definitely better than how everyone else has been talking about him. 100%. I don't know what they saw, where the myth came from.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna throw Barnes under the bus right now, Sav.
Throw Matt under the bus as well, because Matt said he can't run.
Who said that?
Matt. I don't understand where it come from, bro. He's a good player, bro.
So to the guys that know,
for free. For a free signing, the way people spoke about him, I'm like, so in your head, yeah, you'd rather spend, let's say, 85 million on Ekatike, right? And I'm not saying he's not a bad player or anything like that, but this guy is free. Like, just let that sink in for a second. This guy is free, and he's probably going to do about the same as an Ekatike would anyway, him coming in. Like, I didn't even understand. That's why, like, when Savage, I'm like, yeah, like, big up Barnes, but he has been crashing it on David for time. And I said, like, obviously, I don't watch David as much. So if you watch him more than I do, I'm gonna take your word for it. If you say he's shit, then he's shit. You know what I mean? I can't really go against that, right? But then I'm watching a few bits and bobs, and I was like, no, like I feel like he's calm, like for free. Just bear this in mind. He is free. You ain't paying nothing to get him. As a second striker, go out and sign your Ekatike if you want after that. But this brother's free.
Yeah.
And
you
lot just rubbished him. I was like, rah, okay, fairs. Like, he must be shit. Man. Like, he must be real shit.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
These like had me thinking that I definitely didn't see what I saw. So I was like, maybe they must
same.
Bro. Because I'm almost thinking that, and I'm not disrespecting anyone. And if you're offended, then you know that you're a liar, bro. Notice that, like, Jonathan David, I didn't hear nobody call him shit until he was half linked to Liverpool and he was on a free. Then all of a sudden, everyone knew about, Jonathan David's a mid player, is blah blah blah, is all this shit. I'm like, bro, you are allowed just not to not want the player without killing him, bro. He's not shit, bro.
Bro, we're killing him, though.
I don't want him, but yeah.
Do you think do you think, because it feels like most summers this guy's linked with going somewhere, usually to us, and it's always rumored to be a low fee, and I suspect that a lot of fans aren't watching him week in, week out. So we're trying to land on this is certainly my point of view, trying to work out what sort of player he is and how good he actually is through like a few games a season. You add to that he's always rumored to move away and stuff, and you add to the fact that he's gone on a free, you probably just land on an assumption that he's actually not a good player. I think he's actually on the times I have seen him play. I think he is. I think he is all right. I've not been blown away, but he does look like he's a good, technically good footballer, you know. And yes, you think about the fact that he's gone on a free and a signing on bonus, but I don't think Juve are financially that stable. So they wouldn't have been paying a massive amount of money for that sort of signing on fee. So I think it might have made good sense actually for us to have a look at that for a free deal. I'm not sure what wages he's on, but he's still in what 24, 25.
Bro, if he played for Brighton and was doing what he was doing for then everyone would be like, oh yeah, we should probably try and get that guy. He plays for Brighton, he keeps scoring all these goals. But I don't, because obviously everyone who's in the Prem, people talk about them all the time, innit? For whatever club, whether it's Fulham, whatever, and you see them all the time. And I hear people rate a lot of them players. I'm like, he's better than most of them. Not even in a disrespectful way, he's just better than most of them. So, trust me, I'm telling you, bro, if he ended up at Brighton, Fulham, Nottingham, and then spent a season in the Premier, we should have got him. FSG, you idiots. You should have. All right, man. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he's incredible, but he definitely ain't shit.
Guess what we're going to do, bro? We're going to check that out for ourselves. All right, let me go and see, man. Where are we now? We don't want to do that, bro. Where was he? Where was he last season? Big one, League One. Let's see how many goals you got, my G. 32 games, 28, 16 goals.
Yeah, just below 1 into. Yeah.
22% conversion rate. 5 assists. Big chances created 8. What was your big chance miss? Because I know people like to throw you under the bus for those. 16. But he created 8. Passing is 83%, 91% in his own half, which is expected. Yeah, I don't know. That seems fine for me. A guy that's got 16 goals.
Canada tax.
And they're saying his strength is finished. Nah, man.
Nah, I'm telling you, man, this is Drake's fault, bro. This is off the back of Drake losing to Kendrick, bro. It's Canada tax, bro. Drake's lost to Kendrick. Bieber's losing his mind, bro. It's Canada tax.
But it's just my thing is like, bro, like Donny is like, listen, he's gone to Juve now, so it actually doesn't even matter. But you know, when people talk about some of these players, I'm like, really? Like this guy, like this is the guy that you would rather have in your team over, like, say, Jonathan David as an example. But Jonathan David is free though, so like it's like saying, I don't know, like I'm trying to think. I don't want to be I'm not trying to be disrespectful, yeah, but it's almost like saying you had Luis Diaz on a free. I'm like, but you wouldn't take Luis Diaz on a free. I'll take him on a free. Yeah, 100%. Like if it was just available for free, of course I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're good enough to, like, you're better than a free signing. Like you're definitely way better than a free signing, and you're good enough where I'm not expecting you to come in and do a madness. Like I'm not expecting him to come in and bag me 35 goals. Nah, I'm not. I'm okay if you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of know that unless you play all the time, you're probably not going to do that anyway. So you getting me your 20 whatever goals that you can get, I'm okay with that. Like, but listen, hey, everyone's got their opinion. I can't really fight
on a free at 25, averaging a goal every other game, and those statistics would improve. You'd like to think if he came to Liverpool, that seems like Liverpool type business. You know, that seems you know
in France.
Yeah, you know, Liverpool like to get these players at, you know, early to mid-20s that are about to, you know, reach their peak for a relatively low fee. Well, it'll be the lowest, you know, lowest possible fee because you'd only be paying on sign on bonus and all the other bits and bobs. But and with the current situation we've got with our strikers, unsure on Jota and what's going to happen there, it looks like Nunes is being like forced out the door and rightfully so. You'd want to get one main guy in, yeah, but then this might have been a good supplementary option as well, just on a free, low wages, see how he goes on, bit of experience, goal every other game, just to come in and be the guy that, not second fiddle, he'll play a fair amount of games because Liverpool play a lot of games in the season, but doesn't have to be your main guy. I suppose I'm quite surprised that Liverpool didn't have a, you know, we weren't rumoured to it a bit more, but Juve's not a bad move, to be fair. The Italian league looks like it's you know, it's picking up again because it had many years where it was just, you know, almost forgotten about around Europe because they just didn't have competitive sides anymore. But I think that league's picking up. We
got Juve and their kits though. Them kits are cold, bro. They're the black one they played in yesterday.
Cold.
Yeah.
Eze to Arsenal. They haven't actually contacted him at all. By the way, it's just links.
Yeah, they won't get far then.
Yeah, they haven't actually even contacted Palace about him as well. The problem they have is at the moment, Palace are not going to want to lose every one of their players. And I know everyone's like, yeah, for 65 million. I'm like, that's their talisman, bro. Do you really think they're going to be like, oh, yeah, just have him for a measly 65?
Not when they lost the league the season before.
Crazy. If they do that, Sav, I'm being honest. If they go, yeah, you can have him. I'm like, you man are mental.
Yeah, they're in Europe as well.
Yes.
Mine.
He's got a release clause, though. He has got a release clause.
Yeah. He's in,
you know, what's the value of that? Do we know?
Is it 70 or 65?
Yeah, I think 70 at most. Yeah, I was going to say 65, but yeah.
I'm correct. I think him and Elise did theirs at the same time, and then Elise's got triggered by Bayern. Right. He's cold, man. He's one of them players that, like, I don't want to be a hater because I want to wish him the best of luck, but if he goes off, I love Eze, man, and I just can't see it.
I hear it.
Yeah. Because in my head, I've always like he's going to end up at Spurs. That's what I've always thought.
That's what I've always said as well. Yeah.
You know, it's because I rate Maddison in him, he doesn't stay fit. So in my head, I'm just like, okay, that's perfect for this. Bring Eze and does the same job, better in some respects. But yeah, man, he's such a likable player, and that I can't see him at the ups, but he'll wind me up, bro. Good player, man. Very good player.
100% wind us up, bro. If he actually goes to them and there.
World Cup season's coming up as well, bro. So they're gonna want to put their best foot forward. If I'm him, I get it because you might not get another chance. But Palace are in Europe, bro. So you might want to try that out for one season, see how that feels, innit?
Palace have history of holding on to players and almost pricing them out of moves as well. So it's
Zaha's was Arsenal as well, I think. They were linked. He was linked to Arsenal for it.
Man told them Monday, nah, I'm not going there. It's crazy. 27 years of age, so that's not bad. But he plays in attacking mid-sav. I know we used to like run off the left and run off the right at times. But I don't see Arsenal changing their position, playing him through the middle, like as the number 10 in their team.
They'll play him left-sided 8. I bet you. Because the way they set up and that, like we always talk about, Odegaard he don't set up in a 10, innit? But he ends up just moving where he wants. But their biggest problem has been strength and depth, and he'll probably end up just taking someone's spot on the first team anyway. But yeah, they're probably playing left-sided 8, and they'll just cut in a lot because he tried to get Declan Rice further forward second half of the season, and he was pretty decent, but he's box to box in it, so more strings to the bow, man. I feel like even if he doesn't start, he'll take someone's spot. But for Arsenal, their thing they need to do is strengthen the depth. Their depth is trash, bro. First team's really good though. But
what did he get in the Prem?
And Partey's just left, hasn't he? So
8 goals.
So got options there.
8 goals and 8 assists. 16 GA he got
for Palace.
Yeah. Conversion rate though 8%. It's mad. Yeah, man.
He's a.
You only need to watch one game of Palace.
Yeah.
You only need to watch. You only need to watch Palace once to see how good he is and what he'll bring to your side. You know.
What do you think? Conversion rate's what?
8%.
Yeah, that's them long range shots, isn't it? Yeah. No, because people's conversion rate with long range shots ain't gonna be that much, bro. But he shoots quite a lot. But yeah.
And then we'll wrap it up on this final note. Well, a little measly World Clubs and that. And I'm looking forward to the Madrid Dortmund game because I
don't do that.
I get to see Job versus Jude or Bellingham versus
they're not playing each other.
Why they're not playing each other?
Job got yellow carded, so he's suspended for the next game.
Nah.
Set up. He said Jude said this and this and Jude said, little bro, I don't want to have to take you out in it. So just get yourself right now.
Nah, surely there's a rule.
That's what Jude said, bro. He said, I'm not backing you over Trent, bro. If you get into a fight, I'm not backing you, bro. Get yourself out of the game somehow, and he did.
Peeking it. That would have been a very, very interesting story, but
go around the panel though. Looking at those semi-finals, what game are you most intrigued about?
Bro, there's only one game, bro. There's only one game.
What, the PSG Bayern?
I kind of wish that was a final, if I'm being honest. Like, that would have been a sick final.
PSG versus Bayern. That would have been mad football.
Yeah, the semi-finals are like not better than a final, aren't they, really?
Yeah,
they're making a killing. You seen the money that these clubs are making for being in that competition?
Bro, big money, you know.
And do you know what I told you yesterday, innit?
Mm-hmm.
You lot need to know about it. If anyway, you see the crowd in these games, bro. In Miami. Oh my God. I don't know if they're giving the girls £5 tickets to get in, boy, bro. Bro. Not a boss thing in the crowd, bro. Hey, what? Man, bro. I just say Mbappe top of titties, bro, everywhere. Hey, respect, bro. My missus came in. I said, "What you sure what you watching?" Ah, no.
He said, "Just turn the telly off."
Yeah, man.
Turn the telly off.
Okay, so I don't know if any of you guys know, when is the next Club World Cup? It's not every year, is it? Like, they're not doing it.
Is it not every year?
No, I think they've changed it now.
Because remember, it was never. Yeah, remember, it was always like every I don't. What was it? Always every year actually.
Yeah, it used to be.
It was after years. It used to be
because obviously you get that by winning the Champions League, and
yeah, you'd be in it by winning the Champions League.
Yeah, but now it's every 4 years. You're able to change it to like every 4 years, like the World Cup now. So it's like
it's 2020. That's
what the legacy thing happened with Liverpool. Why we never got in? Because the legacy.
Okay, so will we make the next one? Do you know?
If we win the Champions League from now till then.
No, but it can't just be Champions League because these teams ain't won the Champions League. But Dortmund ain't won the Champions League.
Maybe we have to be consistently getting into a certain period, like quarters, semis. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We should have been it anyway, bro. Like, minor, bro. Next 4 years.
No, I don't want to be in this. I'd rather us have a summer off and then a proper preseason, and then
Coach Cam.
Yeah, no, because I hear it, but next season. I know there's money, but I don't think we're in desperate need of money.
I'm like torn on this.
None of these teams are in desperate money
because I've been watching it, and it is actually like there's parts of it where you're like, it's good. It's good, but because it's the whole world, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful in that, but all the money's in Europe, and so you are gonna book teams in there that are just dead food, bro, at the beginning, like the proper bad. But as the tournament progresses, I like a lot of things about it, bro. Like some of the players were having entrances to the pitch like NFL. It's cold.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like.
I liked all of that business and that. The crowd's a little bit different. It's obviously it kind of mimics the World Cup. So the World Cup's going to be in Canada, America, and Mexico, and they're using some of the stadiums now. So they're kind of getting to see how it's going to be at the time. So I like that. But you're right, Cav. It's the only problem is the overplaying and stuff like that because. I think Klopp was talking about it. Sky Sports Don tried to run his mouth, and then I went to the comment section, and everyone was after that Sky Sports shoot, bro.
Yeah.
Now, because you just said because he was like, "Why didn't you go and do something?" I was like, "Raw." What? Like everyone was in the chat was like, "Ain't he just a journalist? Why is he talking like that?" But he was saying like, "You won't realize it now, but you will when the season starts." And wouldn't you know it? He said that, and 2 days later, Rodri was injured. So
and Foden as well.
Yeah. So for our players, and that man, but. We know the truth. FSG, that whole conglomerate, bruv, they heard 100 mil is the winner. Bruv, we'll go into this tournament at some point, bruv. 100 mil! Oh,
Oh,
they want that Verts money back, bro. You think this was free? Verts money was a loan, bro.
We need that money back, bro.
Yeah, man.
Hey, speaking of coverage, have we spoken about the? I'm not sure if it's official now. I read it last week about the halftime interviews with managers.
We spoke about it, but speak about it, Cam. We did cover it, but speak about it, man. Because it's going to cause problems, isn't it? Salah's going to be talking about, yo, if I speak, there'll be fire, bro, at halftime.
Well, Sav, your thing last season was slot 45. If that continues, halftime team talks are going to be mad. imagine the dressing rooms in the manager interviews. Yeah, straight on question slot. What was that shit for 45 minutes? Oh, don't worry about it. You see us last season. Yeah, we're just gonna do the same again. We'll go out when.
Oh man,
Cav, I was saying to these that in the Liga they already do it, innit? Brother, if you see how angry someone like the Celta Vigo coach that's getting, bro, it's like, yeah, we're getting smoked by Barca. It's 6-0, bro. So asking me dumb questions, bro. Oh, what do you think you can do better in the second half? Score a goal, maybe. It's 6-0, bro. You not just see what Rafinha done to us. Yo, nah, man. And one of the times I said, I think it might have been the Valencia game. There was like a bad challenge just before halftime on VAR. Bro, the geezer like he wanted to fight. The reporter, the coach came on the pitch. It's long still.
Yeah, I must admit, I embrace change with most things, and I quite like the idea of it. You know, I like having a bit more coverage, a bit more. You know,
I just don't want the change room stuff. I like that. I don't want the change room stuff though.
I do. I'm intrigued by it.
But do you want to hear them though?
No, Cav. If someone gets,
I don't have to hear them, no. But like,
don't
we're not going to hear them though.
You can see the boys all like having a drink and a young halftime orange, and then. But if I can hit, there better not be any audio, bro. Give away slot time.
No, Cav, though. You seriously want our players to be interviewed at halftime when we're losing a game? We've seen how you, me, Sam,
we don't lose games. We're losing games. Let other teams worry about that. We don't lose games. What are you talking about?
No, he's saying losing at halftime though. Like at
halftime, we've seen that. I've seen how all of us act at halftime when we're losing at halftime. I've seen it. I don't want our players to act out like then they're like, he's a bit rattled, you know. Let's put one on him in the second half. You don't want that.
Nah, to be fair, I was about to say that Cavs halftime analysis, especially if there's a WhatsApp call, man's pissed, boy.
Exactly, Sam. Thank you.
If anyone, bro, I swear, if anyone could be there for when we were playing against Newcastle, the one where Kelleher made a mistake. We were so bad in the first, bruv. Cavs sounded like we wanted to kill someone at halftime.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You know, if I'm angry and then I'm watching the TV and Virgil's getting an interview and he's angry as well, it sort of consolidates you a little bit. Like, oh, we're in this together, kind of thing. You know.
I would like him to do it only if it's not mandatory, innit? Because I kind of want to see like somebody pushing the camera out of the way like it's paparazzi. Then get the fuck out my face, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's not the right moment.
I'm kind of hoping that like one of the opposition like leaves one on our players and then like comes out of the halftime interview and is like, yeah, just watch second half, yeah. Just watch me second half, yeah.
Watch me second half. Big up, Dean. What's your thoughts on it as well, man? Honestly, love for that, man. Dropping everyone's links in the chat as well. Appreciate you.
Big up.
Yeah, what's your worst one, bro? What's the worst one? Do you think?
Quickly, I don't know redirect, but I forgot to say put fam zone raid. So anyone that didn't put fam zone raid, don't just be in here trying to be invisible. Say something. Don't make it look like I didn't raid. But yeah,
he's saying they didn't follow protocol, bro. They didn't.
I forgot to tell them to say raid, but it's cool.
I shouldn't tell them.
I know. See this interview at halftime, bro. Listen, if you interview the wrong person, like. You can trigger me in it. If you interview, say we playing it's halftime, we're getting battered, and now you get Jones. He's had a bad first half. He's been clumsy.
Why did you pick him, by the way?
Had to.
Dean, listen. I have to let you know something on it. As the CEO of the CDL, bro, when you do stuff like this, I get questions, bro. Yeah, and you're good peoples, man. But like. You testing my patience online now. I have to make an example. Let them to pick somebody else, bro.
I wanted to, but I couldn't. There was no one else I could think. There's no one else I could think of. I'm thinking, all right. Who else? No, it's got to be Jones. It's got to be Jones. You know what? It fits the narrative I want to paint. It fits it. You know how Jones is. He holds on the ball too long. He's every now and again he looks a bit, and then you question him at halftime. He's lethargic about it. Bro, I'm even more pissed now. You get me? So I don't want to see what they got to say at halftime. I want to hear them full time, because you might get the wrong answer I'm looking for at halftime, bro. I feel like it's gonna give.
All right, D. Say he goes up to him and he goes, "Oh yeah, Curtis, look, I noticed you've been holding on to the ball a bit more in these little dangerous areas." And he comes and he goes, "Nah, the gaffer's told me."
No, they're taking liberties. They ain't asking questions like that.
Yeah, that question's crazy.
Nah, but Cav, this is what I'm saying. This is where we're gonna head to. I promise you, they're gonna because they want it for the entertainment. They're gonna ask questions to get clip moments. They're not gonna ask you, "Oh, are you enjoying the half?" They're gonna ask you straight questions like that.
You have to be brave.
The gaffer told me to get it in those areas. What are you gonna say then?
Yeah. Oh, the ends. Let me ask you one question here quickly.
Answer that first. No, answer that first. The gaffer told me to drop into this space and get it every single time. What then?
Nah, it's a problem now, because now
with who?
You're exposing your
with who? Who's the problem now with the gaffer?
That's what they should do, bro.
Yeah, because now you're telling what the gaffer told me.
Yeah, that's what they should do. They should interview the subs. Don't interview the starting point. Interview the subs.
And the gaffer's gonna say, "Hold on, I told you, but I didn't tell you to hold the ball that long. Don't try to throw me under." And the thing is, imagine this year. See the goal. I'm trying to think what goal it was. We scored an own goal last year. I can't remember who it was. I think between Van Dijk and Robbo. Nah, I'm Van Dijk. You asked me, "Oh, what happened?" You asked me to see the question about. I say, "Robbo, he's an idiot, innit?" Robbo sees that it's madness now. I'm having beef because it's not my fault. Like, bruv, it's just too much variables, bruv. Because the questions they're gonna ask here is not. The question will start getting braver and braver. Every game, the questions will start getting braver and braver. Man will
they're gonna know who
half time.
Yeah, they're gonna know which people to ask. Because even I'm thinking now, like people like from Man U, you pick Bruno in it because he's gonna say something. He's always but they probably use like a young Madison. Madison loves talking a lot. You get me? They'll use certain Palmer will be gold though at halftime. I can't lie. Yeah. I'm here for the Palmer interview in that, because he don't. Palmer, how do you think it went? How does it look like it went?
Players will just start. I think Dean's right. Yeah, I feel like players will just start avoiding it. Like, you see how like Trent didn't do no post match, bro. You know, I just start walking past now. Like, you know, you can see them like they're all lined up in when they're going through the tunnel, whatever. Yeah, now man will just walk past it because it'll just be like, bro, I'm not trying to even. Obviously, Salah, he's someone he loves to chat, so he will probably be on speaking at halftime and telling man, yeah, bro, this is not shit. He's not going to swear, but he'll be like, yeah, this is not that good. You know what I mean? Like, we're just not playing well enough. But certain men, I can just see, bro, they'll just walk past. They'll just think, bro. Can you imagine Elise? What Elise trying to do halftime interviews? He'll just be like, bro, do I
played well.
Man, I'm going to start.
Literally, I played well.
They'll start throwing their own players under the bus.
How can you That's what I think.
Because Salah didn't pass me the ball. That's why I never scored in the first half. All right.
Oh, remember when Mane got pissed off at Salah that time?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you did a half time
man said,
or end the game interview after that? Oh my god.
Man goes up to him, this selfish guy, man. He never passes anyway.
Yeah, bro. We'll get racial. Now you start getting racist. We'll get mad.
You know what? Yeah. Sack it off, bro. Because I'm thinking now. Black man tackled Enzo Fernandez, bro. It's long at half time. He's going to say something wrong, bro. You already know. Imagine interviewing Cunha, bro. This kid is a hothead.
Yeah.
No, Sav, we've got our own. We're going to diagnose Mac with bipolar because at half time he's going to be mad angry, and then at full time he's going to be calm. Because you know, in the game, this guy's always angry from first minute.
You know that he's got a bit of the tism, bro. That's what's going on there, bro. You get me? Him and Messi got the same tism, bro. Problem, bro. Hothead you, bro.
He stepped over on the scale a little bit, Yeah.
Spectrum's a bit spectruming, bro. Yeah.
I'm here for it, though. I like him.
You know what? It's all good. It's all well and good until it's our team, innit? That's
what I said.
Exactly.
Although ends,
I think we're best suited for it.
If we're gonna bring interviews and keep Nunes, bro, I think this is better now, and I'm here for Nunes interviews. That shit's funny, bro.
Yeah.
Is that Nunes? Why
Nah, I'm not trying to have someone just embarrassed, man. Like,
no, why? No, if he goes, nah, bro. Imagine you go, Nunes. Why didn't you start today? I'm like, I even know, man. Listen, the other guy ain't scoring, so you might as well play me. I'll be mad.
Yeah. The reporter would say, because the other guy ain't even a striker, so how is he in above you?
No, you know, nah.
No, our players are calm now. I think when you look across the league, we're best suited for it. I think we'll keep everybody in check. We'll be fine. It'll be all the other teams, and there'll be outrage and outbursts and all sorts.
Everyone shook a
This is half time, bro. This is half time. Imagine you're pissed off at half time, bro. Like everyone can just lose their head at half. This is gonna, bruv. Like I said, the questions are gonna get more and more brave. It's gonna start getting. First, it's gonna be all nice. It's gonna be all professional. You're gonna get that one interviewer that's gonna push your buttons. You might swing from anything can happen, bro. It's half time, bro.
You're right, because imagine the viewership in terms of watching the actual the program itself. You're watching the football, and obviously Sky and TNT, BT, all of these other companies got the football. But realistically, everyone comes online to watch the clips, and that's where we get our content from. So they want to join that market. So they are going to ask clickable questions, bro. I promise you, bro, because if you know this viral moment is only going to be on Sky, obviously other people will probably try and get it, but I know they're going to monetize it. So you're not going to be able to use that clip anywhere like that. Only on social media where it's not monetized. But you're not going to be able to put that on YouTube or anything. You're going to have to go directly to them. So guess what? Their viewership is going to go up. Like, yo, why have you guys lost 5 games in a row? Was there anything wrong at the club? Do you know how mad? No.
But I think you know what though?
The worst people to interview would be the subs. I feel like they're the worst people to interview.
That's what I'm saying.
Can you imagine? Nah, but like they'll be the worst in terms of that's where you'll fuck up. Imagine interviewing a brother who use like Carvalho at Liverpool. Can you imagine trying to interview him with his every game? You might be coming on for the last 30 seconds of every game, like maybe, and you might not even touch the pitch that day, but you're running up and down that fucking touchline every single game, just doing drills and that. Can you imagine trying to interview him and say,
down the line?
Yeah, bro. Listen, after what I'm telling the gaffer, I'm not running down the line, bro. Like running down to do what? Like, I'm not running anymore. You ain't playing me, so we're not doing that anymore. Like, what difference does it make? Can you imagine trying to interview Carvalho? Like, and remember, certain people, as Dean's right, like certain people, at first it will be nicey, and microwave minutes. Like at first things will be nicey. Eventually, certain people are gonna start getting pissed off at these questions. I even think Virgil's someone who gets ticked off at certain questions. When you ask him, you can see he's got this like, it's like
he has a look.
I don't know how to put it.
Yeah.
It's not even. It's a look, but it's like. Like his answer afterwards, I can tell. Yeah, you just pissed him off, like, bro. Like, why did you even ask him that? Because he didn't want to answer that question, kind of thing. So even him, I mean, he's human, isn't it? Like humans are going to get pissed.
Imagine, I'm losing 3-0. Imagine this year. Imagine you're on the bench, 3 games in a row. Yeah, you're on the bench. You don't even think you should be on the bench. Yeah, they've come to interview you 3 times in a row, and all 3 times on the bench. I'm gonna say something now. It's time for, and the managers criticized me the game before for coming on, and I'm gonna say something. It's human nature, bro. At some point, your head gasket's gonna go. At some point, it's human nature, bro. So this is what they're looking for. They're looking for these moments, bro, and they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it, bro. There's people out there you don't even know their personality. You're gonna see personalities now. That's what they wanted. They're gonna see what's gonna happen. Get me some.
That's big facts, though.
All right, then, lads, we'll leave it there. Dean, I appreciate you jumping in. Maybe we gave you microwave minutes, so I'll apologize.
Oh, yeah. Interview me again, see what happens. Do that again. See what I say next time.
My bad. But listen, big up to you guys, man. I appreciate you guys as always. Cav, man, I know you're not a massive social media guy, but I see you reposting and retweeting. Do you want to tell the people where your social is, or nah, you leave it?
Nah. It's cool. You already know. It's give me another month, and I'll have the office set back up, and I'll be fully active on everything. Yeah.
Say less, man. Because people like what you're saying, man. They want to find a space where they can come and interact, but is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Apologies, I'm very rude. I don't have the comments open. I just act like I'm talking to you guys. So maybe I'll engage in the chat a little bit more in the future. No, because I'm not professional at all. Like we're like chatting before we come live, and I just continue the conversation. I don't care about your little opening and stuff. I just keep talking. Although I did watch the clip earlier where you did the Kwanzaa thing and you sort of walked on screen. I thought that was all right. He's trying to do something here. I'm not sure what it is, but he's trying to do something.
We're building something. Slight. Don't worry, but we've got intro coming for that as well.
Okay, if you're open to it, and you know I'm the ideas guy, so I'll give you some more options.
We'll definitely add that because we need to. You know what I mean? Staff man, what we got planned? What we got coming up?
Oh yeah, obviously if you're into wrestling, I'm live now. But if you're not, then stay away because pointless. You can come say hello though. Nah, it's pointless, bro. I'm not gonna waste anyone's time. You can come say hello though. Drop a like if you want. Drop a dislike if you don't like me, which is a bit weird that you came over in the first place. But yeah, man. Quick video over there, a little half an hour on that because that's quite short already because I just realised I got a meeting to do. But yeah, man, all that, and then I'm still trying to figure out ideas for football stuff. So yeah, I've been trying to do something a little bit different. So once I figure that out, I'll come speak to Cav ideas on it, and then
we'll have a go on for you. And this isn't my idea. I stole this, right? A draft, but it's called. It's called. We'll call it. Don't do it. Don't say it. All right. Sorry.
We got plagiarizers and colonizers on content creating, bro. Man, them been
get me out of it.
Yeah. Man, them been colonizing the man them for too long now, bro. My people's already had it for hundreds of years and that. Now they're trying to get me on the content, bro. I'm not now, bro. I mean, and you already know you're 7% Nigerian, bro, so you shouldn't even say anything.
Apologies.
Big up to Dean from Famzone TV, bro. You man got anything popping tonight or coming up?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go live about 9 o'clock. Don't know what we're doing yet, but about 9 o'clock. I ain't even set up yet. I ain't done nothing yet. But something's gonna happen 9 o'clock. I ain't got no choice. You saw my video. I ain't got no choice. You're gonna ring me. I'm gonna feel pressurized, and I'm gonna go live. I can't believe someone that's not part of my channel makes me feel like I'm under pressure. Outside influence pressure is crazy, bro.
Oh shit! All right, listen, G, what are you saying, bro? We got any lives coming up? Because the people been asking. They keep asking me and Savage, by the way.
Yeah, it's getting annoying still. Just
it's getting annoying, bro. Like you ain't got social media.
Yeah, G, it's getting annoying, bro.
I told them to speak to you first, and then.
Nah, my man's out here getting pressured about R&B streams that ain't even mine, bro.
No, when's G's next live? Ask G, bro.
Ask G, bro.
Guys, if anything, keep speaking to Ends and Savage. They will then let me know, and we'll take it from there. Now, I got video this evening though, not live. I got video this evening on what's Como Fabregas's team.
People want to see you live, G, man. They want to interact with you live, bro. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. I actually don't want to interact with anybody live. Like,
okay, all right, no,
stay in over here.
Yeah,
say less.
Yeah, man. Big up, man.
Big up, man.
Big up, everyone.
Guys, listen, you're going to be redirected over to Savage's stream. So go and show some love. 160 odd of you in the building, man. Just go and like the video. Even if you don't like it, like it. You know
no, if you don't like it, dislike it. Same shit. I'm not with him. I got it figured out. It's all good.
Got it figured out. All right, man. Then catch you guys soon, man. Peace out. Oh my God! First and foremost, though, let me make sure. Yeah, I did do it right. You know, one of those ones I thought I didn't do it right, but
Alzheimer's be kicking in on it. Hurry up.
All right, sorry, man. It's my fault, man. Brain sometimes doesn't work.